What is up, everybody? We are back once again with the last and final series of the night. Now, unless there's any more to come to my attention, this will indeed be the last one. It will be a PvP between two gold players. Let's see what we get for the cringe or super awesome action with JSO. In the top left-hand corner, the Orange Protoss. He goes by the name of Mindcraze. Crazy or Craze? We'll go with Craze. It looks like because that's so spelled, there's no Y. And in the bottom right hand corner, the man who threw the battle on the boardwalk. The purple Protoss pieces. It is Jester Hat. And for those who haven't watched that game yet, it will be up here soon. I will be uploading it straight to the JSL. And for that matter, what happened was all he had to do was recall. He would have won the game, but TVZ. Really good game though. Jester Hat, going to go ahead and scout. Both players looking to play a very clean opening so far. We do have two gas, one pylon, and a gateway. Now, unless we see a second gateway or a pylon go home down for Mindcraze, something's going to be going on here. Jester is going to have to catch that two gateways so far. Jester, who is back home, also throwing two gateways, picking up his gas. So neither player going for that proxy Stargate just yet. No Cybernetics core down to do that with. It just finishes up. The probes are going to play choo-choo train here and make sure they don't get out of... Don't miss anything. Jester going to go ahead and leave. Now, let's see who decides to expo first. Mindcraze is actually going to go ahead and scout after following Jester's probe out. Jester's probe is going to do a double take and head on back. Now, Abyssal Reef always has our best friend, the Dolphin. Wherever he is, he's swimming around here somewhere. Oh, he gets him out. There he is. Alright, guys, in the chat, what do you think? Is that a dolphin or a shark? Or a dolphin shark? What a bomb. Have a... Like Jester wants to expand. We'll do that just as Mindcraze goes by. Did Mindcraze see the expansion? Mindcraze does, in fact, see the expansion. He is going to get in here and poke around and see exactly what is going on at Jester's base. Jester, who is just opening up with a very similar style of two gateways, Cybernetics core, going to get his stalkers out. Very shortly, I imagine he does start Warp Gate. Chrono boosting a gateway with nothing in it. That's mistake number one, Jester. You didn't build anything. You have no, you've wasted energy on gateways. They weren't building anything. I guess he misclicked and was going for the Cybernetics core. Yeah, we'll go through misclick. It was a misclick, guys. It was a misclick. Meanwhile, on the other side of the map, poor Proby is going to get stuck up here by a couple probes. Two stalkers. That's not a very good way to go out. Gonna fall apart under the sea. Never to be seen again. Guess you could say Jester Hat kind of doubled up that chrono boost. Doubled it pretty good. But as we get into just a pretty standard game for both sides. We do have a sentry on the way here. Mindcraze. Mindcraze, both players is playing a very similar style. We got a Robo finally going to be added on. Now, is there a Robo going to be thrown down or will it be Stargate? Okay, it's going to be Robo for both sides. It's very interesting to always see like mirror matches do mirror builds. Practically down to the letter. I don't have my dashboard, so I can't see exactly who just followed, but thank you for the follow. I'll get back and catch that all here in a minute. What do we got going on? Jester going to get a Twilight Council going here. But he is going to go ahead and start checking up into possibly that Blink or Charge. He's got Stalker, so I imagine Blink. Jester's production tab looking pretty healthy, whereas Mindcraze is getting some Immortals. He's starting to get some production rolling himself. Neither player wanting to move out just yet. And we do have a Probe who's going to breakdance as he gets stuck next to the Nexus. Ooh, I love this hallucinated Phoenix because that just makes you think, oh, is it going to be Stargate? I mean, but once you shoot it, generally speaking, you're not just going to send one Phoenix into your opponent's base. It's going to be more than 1, 2, 3. So once you shoot this, you'll also realize it's just a fake. But this Phoenix will get up here and scout everything. Okay, there's also going to see that. I'll point out something about the observers here in a second once an observer gets across the map. Alright, Phoenix going to get here. See there's some stalkers, see a shield battery and a sentry for Jester Hat. So we're going to get over here and see pretty much just the same thing. Another hallucinated Phoenix going to be sent out. I guess he's really trying to get Jester to think that he is going Stargate. Once the observer gets in here, where's the observer? Where's the observer, Jester? Okay, it is coming in just now. Now let's see if Jester throws this on the hold position. It gives it that extra vision. If he does, there's something rather curious I'm gonna point out about that. Let's see just how well it drives Mindcraze crazy. Jester puts it on the hold command here. You have a pylon being warped in over here from Mindcraze. I guess he's just trying to get some map vision. Trying to make sure nothing sneaks in like a warp prism or anything. Observer's still just chilling out here. But guys, if you ever want to find an observer, say your Protoss opponent puts it on the hold command where it gives it that extra vision range and it doesn't move, it'll make a chirping sound. It'll make like a beep, or beeping, or chirping, however you want to put it. Or probe. Use a recall just to get that one probe out. It'll be pretty funny. He has 20 probes here. Trying to get his gas going so he can pull some off there. Both bases are completely saturated. Now, Jester going to go ahead and move out. Jester, I do believe, has Blink. Blink is done. So yes, here we go. Going to move up here. What's on the production tab? Back. Yes, charge and +1 attack. So he's looking for that +1 timing in here. Now there's Immortals on the high ground. I don't like this decision of Jester to move out just yet. Or commit to this attack just yet, but he has no choice now as his opponent does know there's an army on the low ground. Especially when he killed off the pylon. So he's ready for any kind of fight on the high ground. There are shield batteries here. Blink is done, and one attack did just finish for Jester Hat. He has some Immortals of his own, and Army Supply is in favor of Mindcraze with a defender's advantage here. You have the ability to warp him back home. Be able to defend with your probes should you need to. Meanwhile, your opponent is across the map with no shield batteries. Warp Prism is on the way now. What I would like to see happen here with this Warp Prism of Jester is to get in, drop it in, kind of like right here, poke at this third base, to try and pull his army, or opponent's army, away. Once he gets his opponent's army out of this fight, as much as possible before he commits. Jester also throwing a hallucinated Phoenix up there, get a scout. Charge is going to finish up for Jester first. Now, he needs to just have some Zealots there, so he will be able to use these Zealots to initiate. Have him tank for his army a little bit, but again, the army supply is still in Mindcraze's favor. He's up 12 army supply to worker count dead even. Both failures are starting to get a little bit of a bank, and here we go. He's going to move down the ramp. +1 attack is about to finish up for Mindcraze as well. Charge is done. The Warp Prism here is warping in another round of units for Jester Hat. He's fighting away from these shield batteries. I don't think this engagement was the best thing for Mindcraze, but it looks like he will be able to close this out very, very easily. There's a Warp Prism now under siege, and Jester has his Blink. He's trapped a lot of his units into this corner, away from his Warp Prism, so he couldn't use the Warp Prism to micro this. Which means he will end up losing everything across the map, which is going to prompt Mindcraze to pressure himself. Now, Jester actually expanded away from the normal third base location, which is usually right up here. Kind of an interesting decision, because now you make your opponent think, oh, he's on 2 base. No, his third base is actually on the low ground, further away. Kind of hidden in that sense. But this also gives your opponent a lot of ground to work with up here. Right in this third base location. Jester going to send his observer across the map, and when the observer gets there, if we get there just about the time this army just decide to clash once again. This time, Defender's advantage is in favor of Jester Hat. He does have a Twilight Council done, so he's getting the Archons, he's getting that +2 attack. +2 attack is going to finish up before Jester, so he might take a fight here. Have a slight advantage. He's getting that armor as well. Upgrades are currently +1 attack to 1/1 with Blink and Charge for Jester. Oh yeah, the rocks are gonna die. The rocks are going down, boys. Just like that. Kaboom. Rocks. destroyed. Accomplished. I'm going home. Get ready to have an attack here. Now let's see what he decides to do if he decides to try and blink up this cliff. Jester. Oh, don't do it. Don't move out, Jester. Do not move out right now, man. Your opponent's army is on your doorstep and you're going to move out across the map. You're giving him a lot of room to breathe here. You don't even know where he's at. Where's his observer? He sees. Where's Jester's observers? One here and the other one is across the map looking at his opponent's base for the army that's not there. He has to assume it's outside. It has to assume it's right outside the door here. The more high tempo are being warped in. And here we go! Minecraft is going to march right in here and get on top of these shield batteries. So not a lot of shielding going out here from the back two. From his backwards. And a lot of energy. Energy is already depleted on these shield batteries. And Jester is in a very tight position. He does have the ability to warp in. Archon's in the front tanking that +2 armor, or +1 armor there. Doing a lot in this fight. And Jester might just be able to close it out. He will hold. He doesn't really lose anything but army. That's a very good trade here for Jester, as he really didn't lose any economy. He has his third up in mining, but his opponent is going to warp in once again. Jester, you don't want to go too far, man. You don't want to go too far, because any more Zealots warp in here, you might actually be in trouble. You're going to lose one Archon, you're going to have to run away. Get back to these shield batteries to fight, which you will do. Just like that, it's a tug-of-war game. Now his opponent is just going to reinforce. Now at this point, Jester could easily march over here and kill this off. Or recall, you've got to recall the Warp Prism. Recalls it back to the natural? Yep, recalls it back to the natural. The Minecraft is making some pretty good decisions here, but the trades are definitely going about even. If we take a look at the resources lost, or units lost, it's only 100 difference, but the gas right now for Minecraft is being lost is about 500 more. So, relatively even game so far. A lot of high tempo here. Is Storm on the way? Did they pick up Storm yet? No, they didn't pick up Storm. Back to that production side. There we go. Another robo being added on for Jester. Looks like he wants to increase that mortal count. And Jester actually choosing to expand further away from where the normal third base would be. While as the opponent is expanding toward, both players are going to wind up meeting down here in this corner at this rate as far as expansions go. Does have a warp prism out here on the map from his opponent's side of the map. I do believe that did get spotted. It's +3 attack on the way as well, so Minecraft is catching up in that upgrade very quickly. He doesn't have armor. Jester has been getting the armor as well, so he's on 2-2 to +2 attack. Now the +3 attack can easily start to overpower the armor, but it just comes down to a numbers game at that point. Since you don't have the armor upgrade as the Orange Protoss, you'll be in a very far more dire situation should you choose to take a fight. A lot of your DPS from that +3 attack is going to get nullified basically from the +2 armor of your opponent. Minecraft is actually looking for any kind of harassment around here. I don't know where Jester's Warp Prism went. Lost it. Look at Archer's tab. See if it's different. Looks like there's a couple cannons on the tab here for Jester. Main base. Okay, fair enough, fair enough. You had to protect that main base, man. It's all about that main. Where all your tech is. Don't worry about the expansions. We don't need those. Nah. Throw down 2 cannons in the main basement or one. Makes sense. Our supply is dead even. I imagine we're going to see a fight here very soon. Now, +3 attack is going to finish up for our orange player before this fight does fully commit. This Warp Prism might actually get picked off for free if he's not careful. Both armies do kind of know where each other is at now. Because the rocks are going to die once again. Poor rocks, they didn't ask for this. They just wanted to be rocks. But no, we got to blow up the rock. Sorry, rocks. The warp in over here at the Warp Prism, Jester pulling this army's... Oh, it's already completely out of position. He's going to pressure the 4th base. There's a very good move out of Jester here, as he is going to be able to find some economic damage. Now what you do after this is recall. Group up and recall. Don't commit to any more fights here, as you now have the economic advantage. You don't need to be trading out too much more army supply. Then he's just going to keep marching forward. He's going to get stuck here if he's not careful. If he can get to 3rd base, though, he'll be able to be in a very good economic situation. Alright, Jess, you need to get out, man. Now's the time to recall. I know you have a bit of a concave, but your army supply is going to start slipping. You're going to be able to reinforce here as well, so he's just going to choose to commit to this fight instead. More charge rockets being warped in. I don't know about... He will close it out. Jester will take this one. Just barely. The probes are going to come back down here. It's starting to get picked off as well. There's a lot of Charizards jumping in here, trying to chew their way through these Archons. And like I was saying, that +2 armor upgrade is probably what saved Jester here. If he didn't have that 2 armor, he would never have won this fight. Because if you take a look, upgrades are only +3. Gigi is going to get called out by Mind Craze. And Jester is going to take game number 1 in his best of 3 series. Guys, I'm Magdright, and I'll be right back with you for game number 2. I'll get the mic on. There we go. Alright, so we're back for game number 2, and currently up 1-0 in this series. It's the purple guy down here in the corner. I was about to introduce him as orange guy. The wrong guy there. I caught myself. But down here, it is the Jester making the fool of us all. At game number 1 that he almost lost. His Jester hat. The purple Protoss pieces. Now in the top left-hand corner. Playing a very good game last time. Let's see if he can close one out here before, or will he get 2-0'd? Need your help. It is Mind Craze. Mind Craze looking like he wants to open up. Very standard once again. Now, these two players so far have struck me as neither to go for any kind of crazy cheese. Now, game 1 in the first series, we did see a cannon rush come out of... What's his name now? Zoram? I think it was Zoram. Yeah, Zoram who did a cannon rush, and he did it very well. He executed very well and got game 1, but then he lost the series. And reversed 2-0, and just like that, there's a wall of fury. This probe perfectly positioned to deny the scallop. Look at that breakdance. Just realizing, I'll just mineral walk it right by him, mate, because that's what happens when I click on a mineral patch. Our worker goes through stuff. That must be an awesome ability to have. Like, if you're like, hey, there's a mineral over there, I want to mine it. You just walk through a wall. Both players opening up again. Very similar styles once again. They're expanding too fast. The other player looks like they want to go for anything too cheeky. There is a probe of Mindcraze across the map. I think that actually blocks the Nexus? Yeah, that blocks the Nexus, I do believe. Awfully close, so that might pile. Yeah, he does cancel it. He does realize that is going to block the Nexus. If there's a Nexus, and then he will throw down a pylon. The probe hiding behind a gateway. Shh, guys, they'll never know he's here. Tries to reveal himself. He was hiding in the shadow of that gateway. It was beautiful. They're a scout all day. On the other side of the map, Jesser Hat trying to deny his opponent from expanding a little bit. Two adepts are going to make their way out and deny any further scouting information. Now, there is a pilot in the back here, the mineral line, which generally is used for any kind of tech Protoss decides to use. See if they opts for that Robo or opts for that Stargate. Meanwhile, Jesser Hat once again going to go ahead out and scout his opponent there. Two adepts making their way southbound. Now, again, I do want to point out something about this map. I always point this out. They did add a little bit more of a tell that there is a Reaper step up, a Reaper jump up in here. Also, Catalyst LE is a map full of rocks. Basically, a lot of rocks be killed on this map. Sorry to anybody who likes rocks. It just might happen. Two Stalkers here are going to go up and catch these Adepts trying to shade in. They will not be canceled. They will jump on top of these probes. Pick up one probe so far. Pick up a second. Pick up a third. Oh, there we go. A third one is going to be killed. They will go ahead and phase on out in their all majestic wizard-like glory. I might pick up one more. Oh, a little bit of a miss micro there. Both these probes, very thankful they still have their lives except for that one. Nice micro there from Jesser to run that probe over to that shield battery to keep it alive. He only lost 4 probes. A couple Stalkers about to pop out. Now the difference here so far is there's a Robo and a Twilight Council on the way. Mindcraze going up to that tech a little bit faster. Warp gates are about to come online here. Hello. Hello there, Stargate. So, okay, now, PvP, you generally see very mirrored builds. And you won't see anything until where they start deviating. So, it could be Robo Twilight Council versus Robo Twilight Council, but it looks like Jesser wants the Stargate. Now, this is where things can start getting interesting, because he could easily go into that Oracle. He could easily start pumping out Phoenixes, which is going to put even more pressure on Mindcraze. Because Phoenixes, unless you have Blink Stalkers, try and catch them, or Phoenixes of your own, then you, generally are going to lose out in the end. A little bit of fusion here of I'm a probe, you're a stalker. These probes are running around frantically trying to figure out where to go. You guys ever wonder what's in the stalker pod? These new stalkers, like, make me wonder. No players are actually using the same skin. I do believe there's a Tal'Darim stalker. Jesser going to go ahead and send out his observer here. Find out what his opponent is up to. Few Stalkers hanging out here to make sure there's nothing too cheeky coming around. As again, we do have Robo and Twilight Council with charge lots here versus Warp Prism as an observer as well. Versus the Stargate of Jesser, who is got a Void Ray so far. And he's going to add on an Oracle as well. Now let's see if he decides to opt into more Stargate tech, or if he's going to just use that one Stargate. Go say charge lot, Void Ray charge lot. There's that option. A third base looking like it's going to come down here for Mindcraze. Rallies his probe over here. I do like the decision to expand across the top. Expanding... I don't know if whoever's played the Interloper or who had vetoed it after, like, say, one game. But there's a position where if you took your third ability to the south or north, there are some rocks there. And if you killed off those rocks, and your opponent expanded there, or you expanded there, and your opponent killed the rocks, your base is basically gone. There's really no way to save it. Same thing kind of happens here on Catalyst with this pile of rocks. If you knock this down and your opponent expands down here, unless they have army down here to defend, there's literally no way to save that base. You have to march all the way around just to come down here and defend that third. Oracle going to make its way up here. It's going to scout the third base. If he turns on the beam to get that one probe, which he will not do. He'll awkwardly hang out here now. Hey, go do stuff. Go do stuff, Mr. Oracle. Where you get sniped by some stalkers. There you go. We got Oracle gonna make its way into the natural. Gonna turn on that pulsar beam, the shield battery, keeping one probe alive. Shield battery doing work here to keep 2 probes alive. He only killed 2. Shield batteries, man, good buildings. Make sure you build them. However, there's no shield batteries in the main. Just are going to be able to start picking up some probes here. Picking up 7 so far. A couple more gateways going to get added on. This stalker, or these 2 stalkers will pick off an Oracle. Guess they're trying to run it away. Not far enough. Anyway, with that, we do have Void Rays being added on. He did add on a second Stargate, so Jester wanting to move into that Stalker Immortal Void Ray composition, which can work very, very easily. Especially if your opponent is just nothing but Robo. He'll return his probes to their mining state in the main base. Both players are opting up for that third base. We do have +1 armor and shields on the way for Jester. Upgrades, man. Good things. You guys might want to start picking them up. 5 minutes in. You only have charge of Warp Gate. Where's your forges? No forges here. Get your forge! Build upgrades. We're gonna need them. We're just gonna see a bit of a shaking of the hands here and say, don't attack me, I won't attack you. Let's get a third base up and we'll all be happy. Going into that 20-minute no rush, yo. 20-minute no rush, but it looks like Jester is going to go ahead and move out and pressure that third base. 4 Void Rays on the map so far for Jester. He is still building more back home, so he's wanting to stick to that mass Void Ray comp by the looks of it. He wants to add them in. Now, Void Rays are a good unit, yes, but the later this game goes, the more they will start to drop off. So if you guys start teching up your Sky Tech, it's going to be the Carriers or Tempest. But this early in the game, the Void Rays will find some very good value. Especially when it's a total of, was that 7, 8 Stalkers? Total like 13 Stalkers in an Immortal? There's an Immortal there. Oh, Stalker. How many Stalkers are actually here? There's like 19 Stalkers for Mindcraze. Against a 10 Jester and the 6 Void Rays in the Immortal. Jester, with a big scary army, is going to march right in here and start to melt down these probes, take out this Nexus, and secure himself a 3-base lead. Or a 3-2 base, or 3 base. With an economic advantage in his favor. A lot of Stalkers being warped in response. There are some Sentries here as well. And yes, Sentries do work. Their Guardian Shield does work against Void Rays. They will be able to knock off some of that damage that these Void Rays will put out. Again, Jester sticking to that mass Void Ray composition. 2 Stargates, getting the +2 air on the way now. He is just going to march right back home. Continue to ball his army back up. Now, does he have Blink? He doesn't have Blink, so he won't really be able to micro this very easily. Blink is finally on the way. Or Mindcraze. Mindcraze, you are chrono boosting it. Good call, good call. So he is chrono boosting that Blink, and that's probably the only thing he can really have right now to fight against the Void Rays of Jester. Unless he's already decided to just completely ignore each other and walk right by. Jester looking like he's going to blink right at the ledge and into the main base. Blink? You gonna blink? You have blink? Jester have blink? Hey, Jester, you don't have blink. You don't have blink! Why don't you have blink? Doesn't matter, these Void Rays are going to find the damage anyway. Recall coming back immediately, coming back home to defend this. Prismatic alignment has been activated. Now, don't fight this until the alignment is... We actually have to fight it here. I was going to say, don't fight it until you have to, but... Prismatic alignment is going to run out. He's going to turn off all the power in this Protoss base. He's trying to catch these Void Rays. Now Jester could easily just recall his Void Rays out. He's going to focus down the Sentries. He's going to be able to start knocking down some of these Stalkers, but without Prismatic Alignment, these Void Rays don't get the most damage they can against Stalkers. If you have enough Stalkers here, but a lot of these Gateways were unpowered. That might be it, actually. Yeah, this might be it, because Jester's unpowered the Pylons. GG is going to be called just like that. So great positioning there. Jester is going to close it out with a 2-0 lead here, guys, and a quick 2-0 indeed. We'll check to make sure there is no more series.